On today's Glory Days show, we've been talking about the mess that is the Jets for a few weeks now. Maybe we should talk to somebody who's a little more in the know than we are. We'll talk to Rocky Cleaver.
Yeah, he's the only real football player we know. He was at the Jet game on Sunday.
Was he?
So we'll talk to him about that.
Sounds good. The Baseball League Championship Series were short and sweet, and starting Tuesday, the Kansas City Royals and the San Francisco Giants will be playing for the World Series title, just like I predicted.
Yes, you did. And did you know that the NBA is experimenting with a 44-minute game tomorrow, and that they're also going to be selling space on their jerseys?
That's unbelievable.
So we'll talk about those stories and more on today's Glory Day show, coming up right now. EatReview.com. Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, October 18th, 2014, and you are watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani. This is my good buddy Bruce Oler, and you are joining us on the InRavio.com TV network, where we broadcast to the world from the basement studios of the Village Music Shoppy here in beautiful Mastic, Long Island. Good morning, my friend.
Hey, Disco, how are you? It's nice that it's not raining today. The last couple of Saturdays it was raining.
The last couple of times it was raining. It was...
and it also seems like we've had the summer's last hurrah. You know, it's been hot the last couple of days.
It's been really nice.
Not really hot, but I got a little tan in yesterday again, man. You know.
Well, your tanning days are running out.
I know.
You're running out.
They are.
From now on, you're going to have windburn.
I know. It's supposed to be a little chilly tomorrow. It's supposed to be down in the 50s.
All righty. So, you know, this is a sports show, as you know, if you are a good fan, if you are a loyal fan.
Yes.
Of the show. And, you know, we have a lot of things going on today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Jets. We'll have Rocky Cleaver on later. That's kind of fun.
And he called you. He contacted you. So he must have something to say. That'll be good.
Yeah, but I did want to talk about a couple of things.
Okay.
That have been going on in the sports world.
And I noticed nothing has to do with Oscar Pistorius.
No, although I do have an Oscar Pistorius update.
Okay.
He did have his hearing.
Yeah.
For his
what his sentence will be.
Was what his sentence is going to be. Yeah. And they don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is, you know, he comes. He pleads his case now.
The family
the
pleaded their case too.
Right,
yeah.
And now they're going to do it.
Right.
But do you know that Sunday's Nets and Boston preseason game is going to be only 44 minutes long instead of the regular 48 minutes? The NBA is experimenting to try and see. They want to shorten the time it takes to complete games.
And why is that?
I don't know. The minutes per quarter will be reduced from 12 to 11.
Okay.
And there'll be 2 fewer mandatory TV timeouts.
Okay.
The league average is currently at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Now, that doesn't seem long.
No, it doesn't.
Right? I mean...
shorter than a baseball game.
You've got baseball...
Most of the time.
Right. But, you know, a lot of questions. First of all, what does it do about the statistical comparisons in
Good
basketball?
Point. Good
you know
point.
what I mean? How do you ever compare... you're going to have to stop your statistics and you know, because from now on, points per game are different. You got less minutes.
You know, pre-whatever. Right. Now, that's just an experiment. It's just an experiment. So, I mean, I guess they wouldn't roll this out this year anyway, right?
No, they're not.
So the earliest it would be is next year?
Well, okay. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because I actually found that out.
Oh, good.
Okay.
You anticipated the question.
I anticipated the question. All right. Right now, the way it works is Again, we were talking about it before,
Yeah.
and I think the issue is not, nobody cares about playing time, that the game time is too long. Everybody talks about commercial breaks.
Yeah.
And not so much commercial breaks, but timeouts
Yeah.
in the last few minutes of a game. Here's the way it works. In the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
and I got to say, I didn't really know this.
Okay.
Okay.
That means I didn't know it either.
In the fourth quarter, each coach is allowed to call as many as 3 timeouts if they
Okay.
haven't used them by then. Okay. In the final 2 minutes, they can only call 1 60-second timeout and 1 20-second timeout.
Okay.
Okay. And in overtime, they get 2 more. Full timeouts.
Okay.
All right.
Which is what,
So
60
that
seconds?
means, right. So what that means is that it's possible during the last few minutes in overtime that it's a total of 8 minutes of playing time if you count the last 3 minutes and the 5 minutes of overtime. It's conceivable that
They're
both
not reducing the overtime from 5
no,
to 4.
No, they can conceivably that the coaches can call a total of 10 timeouts
Okay.
in the last 8 minutes, and 8 of them will be longer than 20 seconds.
Wow.
You then have the ability of the referee to review the possession plays in the final 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay? Now you know, like, if you've ever watched the game
Yeah.
and your wife says, hey, could you do this for me?
Yeah.
And you say, wait, it's the last 2 minutes. She always laughs and she says, yeah, that's going to be about a half hour.
I'm not going to go with about 2 minutes with my wife about anything, okay?
Now,
That's a whole different story.
well, you
okay?
were asking about the rule, okay?
Okay.
According to Commissioner Adam Silver,
Yeah.
a change to the game clock will not happen this season, and it's not imminent.
Yeah.
Okay? Or is it imminent? Imminent.
Imminent.
Okay. Rod Thorne, who's the president of league operations, said the league has discussed the length of timeouts and the number of timeouts. He says, we're looking at the game on a continuing basis.
I don't know. You know, I'm not a big NBA fan. A couple of things I think they've talked about in the past. I don't understand why they haven't done anything about this. The 24-second clock, maybe they should change that.
To make it more, so that they shoot.
Shoots more, make it maybe down to 20 or something, or lifting the basket to 12 feet or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would make it a more exciting game.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I told you the story before that, you watch it on TV and you see what they're doing, but if you ever actually sat like down low, and I only did that once in my life.
With Spike Lee.
Yeah, like
Okay.
down by that.
Yeah.
You look at that basket and you say, no, it's too close.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Any sport, scoring is supposed to be the ultimate goal.
Yeah. That's right. We've talked about that many times.
And basketball, it's not the
basket's
ultimate goal.
It's yeah.
It is not. It's become not the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the ultimate goal of a basketball game is to outscore the other team.
It's
But
in
it's
every
not
sport.
but it's just become
Except
so.
for golf.
Except for golf. What are you going to do? You know what? Coaches are never going to give up that final timeout.
Yeah.
Because it allows them to set plays, right? And they make substitutions. Larry Brown,
Yeah.
the guy, didn't he coach the Knicks?
Yes.
Larry Brown? Okay. He never liked that strategy.
Yeah.
He used to say that he never used to like to use timeouts because he felt that it also allows the defense to
Sure it does.
regroup, and you could always lose a pass, an intercepted throw-in. So. But what's really bothering me though about the NBA?
I'm going to find out.
You're going to find out. And you're going to find out too. Starting with the 2017 NBA All-Star Game.
Yeah.
League sponsors will be able to buy space on the front of NBA team jerseys.
Okay.
That's part of the league's $24 billion media
Billion.
deal.
With a B.
With a B.
Huh.
Okay. Details of the deal and the strategy to sell the space is still being hammered out. But when the NBA does sell the space, their media partners, ESPN and TBS, will of course benefit from it.
Yeah.
Have you ever? Now I know you don't. I know how much of a WNBA fan you are, so I know that this probably doesn't bother you. But they have their jerseys. They sell advertising space on the front and the back.
Okay.
They've been doing it for years in soccer. You don't know actually what the team jerseys are. Actually, Chevy,
Yeah.
the U.S. company Chevrolet, they own space on Manchester United. $660 million
Wow.
to put their logos. And like I was saying, the WNBA does it.
What's
I
to
just don't
stop
like
these
it.
players that have all these tattoos to stop tattooing? You know?
I think that was one of the reasons why, because the players were becoming billboards.
Yeah.
You know, and they just used to. I mean, that's the way to sell them. Now, what happens if you've got a thing that says Chevy because they're paying you $25 million, but your jersey says Ford?
Yeah. Maybe you could say Ford sucks, Chevy rules. I don't know, something like
Well,
that.
look at what happened with we were talking about Colin Kaepernick last week. He got fined.
Yeah, because of
he
Bose
was wearing the
headphones.
dress.
And
But he's
well, it
got-
wasn't the Bose headphones. He was wearing
no, he was
Beats.
wearing the Beats, right?
Yeah.
But he has an endorsement deal with Beats.
Right.
So he's getting paid to wear their headphones. He can't cover the name of the headphone up because then he won't get paid.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't cover the headphone,
Well, we
he
talked
gets
about the
fined.
fact that probably Dr. Dre is writing a check for the fine that he got.
You know what? To me, I just think it looks cheap.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know that they do them at the ballparks. In the NHL, they have advertisements on the boards.
Yeah.
And
And
sometimes
even on
the
the telecasts, you
right,
know,
they put them on the glass,
yeah,
right?
they're kind of like floating there.
MSG
you know?
puts
Yep.
them on the glass,
Yep.
right? Football, for everything that football does, they don't have any advertisements on the field, the playing field at all.
Mm-hmm.
They do sometimes, like for bowl games, have the sponsor in the middle
Right.
of the bowl game at the 50-yard line. And you know, when you talk about baseball stadiums have them on the outfield wall.
Yeah.
But there's no Ford logo in the middle of the outfield.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it looks cheap.
Not even at Ford Field, huh?
Not even at Ford Field. But you know, the other thing is, why, you know, these advertisers, they spend all that money. Do you think, although I guess we're talking about it, but do you think that anybody is going to watch an NBA game and they have the Ford logo and they say, you know what, I'm going to go buy a Ford car?
Yeah. Well, you know what? What if the team sucks? You know what I mean? It's got the Ford logo on it, you know? Maybe you never buy a Ford.
Well, that's the other thing, you know, like when you see the murderers or the perp, when they're doing the perp walk coming out of the thing, and they're wearing a shirt that says Yankees on it, or St. Louis Cardinals or whatever. I says, how does that team feel? That
that's a good question.
That the criminals are buying their stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all about the bottom line, though, I guess is what it is.
How much time we got left? Oh, we got a
Okay.
call. Who's on the phone? We have a caller.
Identify yourself.
Identify yourself, please.
It is Chuck.
Hey, Chuck, what's
Chuck
happening?
who?
Chuck who? It's Chuck, the Enravio van driver. I'm down in the Santa Maria Street Fair, van number 74 with Kyle Melnick. He's down there with the Village Music Shop van. We're going to be at the Street Fair in Santa Maria, Long Island, New York, all day today, from 10 to about 4.
That's a fun day.
And we were wondering why Kyle wasn't man in the controls here, so now we
So
understand
that
why.
why you stole Kyle from us today.
I certainly did. I took Kyle. Yeah, Kyle was with us last night. We were at Spooky Walk, also in Santa Maria.
Okay.
That's you know, a nice little Halloween you know, thing that they do for the camp for kids with disabilities. And we'll be back at the Spooky Walk camp tonight in Santa Maria as well.
Very good.
Cool. Are we giving away some swag?
Yeah, we're giving away swag. He's down there with frisbees. He's got all kinds of stuff to give away.
Okay, now do they get anything extra if when they come and see you they say, we love Glory Days?
No, but if they do have an Enravio bracelet and we spot them at another event with the Enravio bracelet, they could win $100.
Ooh.
Hey, I don't have an Enravio bracelet.
I don't know if we got one big enough for you. That's my problem.
How could you get an Enravio bracelet?
I know a guy.
Okay.
No, I meant how could our fans get an Enravio bracelet?
Well, they can meet us at one of our events, or they can actually email us
okay.
if they want. They want to stop by the studio. They can
Okay.
see us at any of the events that we're at. You know, they can check out the different things that we're doing on the website and just meet us there.
So what street fair is it today, Chuck?
The street fair today is the Santa Maria Street Fair. That's right on Main Street in Santa Maria, Long Island.
Okay.
Tonight will be the Spooky Walk, also off of Main Street, and that's from 7 to 11 tonight.
How spooky was it?
Pretty spooky.
Wow. Okay.
They're getting intense over there. Okay. It's a good hour walk through. It's a nice spooky walk.
All righty.
Yeah.
All right, so that's cool. So why wouldn't you want to get a nice Enravio bracelet? You wear it, somebody sees you, you win $100.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
So, listeners, stop down here today. Go see Chuck and Kyle, okay?
Actually, stop watching this show right now.
No, wait
And
till the
go
show is
down.
over.
No, wait till the show is over. You don't want to miss Rocky Cleaver.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
All righty, Chuck. Thank you.
All right, guys, have a good show.
Have
Thanks.
a fun time.
All right.
Bye.
It's a good time, that street fair.
Yeah?
I was there. I was there for the St. Patrick's Day street fair. It was a lot of fun.
See any leprechauns?
No.
Okay.
I was one of the shortest people there, though.
Okay.
So, all righty. You know what? Let's take a break.
Okay.
Right? We might as well do that. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to take our first break of the day. I have it here somewhere. All right. When we come back, you know what we'll do? Let's talk about the World Series.
Okay.
We'll talk about the Islanders. Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get ready for Rocky Cleaver.
Get ready for the former tight end, a real live football player. Is going to be on our hotline later on. You're watching the Glory Day Show here on the InRadio.com TV network. We are coming right back.
InRadio.com. For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to InRavio.com/join the team.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Glory Day Show here on the InRavio.com TV network. For the first time in 29 years, the Kansas City Royals are in the baseball playoffs, and they've won all 8 of their playoff games. They beat Oakland in the wild card game,
Yeah.
9-8 in 12 innings. They swept the Los Angeles Angels. Oh no, are they the Anaheim Angels?
From Los Angeles, yes.
Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles. Yeah, that's a mouthful. That was the team with the best record in baseball.
Yeah.
All righty. And in the division series, they swept. That was in the division series. Sorry. And then they swept the Baltimore Orioles.
In the league championship series.
And that team led all of baseballs in home runs.
Yeah.
And they won the last 2 games 2-1.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think they out-homered the Orioles, as a matter of fact, too.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah. And in the National League, it was another wild card team that did all the damage. The San Francisco Giants, world champions in 2010, 2012, and my personal pick to win it this year too. Yeah. Shout out the Pirates in the wild card game, 8-0. Then they beat Washington Nationals 3-1,
Right.
including that 18-inning game, that marathon a couple of Saturdays ago.
Yeah.
Then they faced the, I guess what we would call the Yankees of the National League, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Exactly.
And they beat them 4-1. And so it's setting up for a Kansas City Royals San Francisco Giants World Series starting Tuesday night.
2 wild card teams.
Yeah, and I had to apologize because a few weeks ago we had Kevin on the phone.
Yes.
Your son, and he predicted that the Royals were going to go to the World Series. And I told you should check his urine. That's what I told you.
And I did check his urine, and unfortunately, he came up positive.
Okay, well, all right.
But he was right. You know, it was just fun. You know, I can't say that I watched a lot of it. I don't know what it is about this particular playoffs, but I haven't really been.
I've watched a fair amount
I've
of
been
it.
keeping up with it, but I haven't really been watching.
It's been very exciting. I mean, the Royals have a great bullpen, I can tell you that, you know. And they play small ball, but they have a team that's built on speed. They steal a lot of bases. They play good defense. Any team at this stage of the game has got a good defensive team,
Right.
you know. The interesting thing is that they play in a big ballpark like the Mets, and the Mets now are talking about moving the fences in for a second time in the last 4 years.
Yeah, they
you know?
actually are. They started construction already.
Yeah, that's crazy, you know.
Well,
And
you know
I
what
guess
they
the
said.
same and the same, you know, situation faced the Royals, and the Royals didn't do anything about it. They just got a team that basically can cover a lot of ground, and they rely on speed to win.
You know, the thing about the Mets is they kept saying, oh, it's in the players' heads and all that stuff. You know what? It's not like Citi Field was the hardest field in the league to hit home runs
Yeah.
in. San Diego was first. I think Kansas City was second. But Citi Field was maybe 4 or 5 from the bottom. So everybody else could hit home runs
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I just think that what we need is people who could hit home runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's hitting home runs on the Mets? Curtis Granderson, right? What, he hit 18?
Yeah,
He had like
well-
13 of them in September.
Don't forget, don't forget Lucas Duda. He hit 30.
Duda hit 30. Now, granted, you know what I mean? But there are some teams that have 3 guys that hit 20 home runs.
Yeah. You know, this moving the fences is going to give, you know, because I'm not sure if the Mets have been out-homered by the opposition, but you know what? It's going to make it easy for the opposition to hit home runs,
Well, that's
too.
what I said. I said, what are they going to do? Move the field in when the Mets hit and move it back out when everybody else hits?
That would be a good move.
I wonder if you could do that. Is that legal?
Probably back in the early 1900s it was. You know, it probably happened all the time.
You know, but that would delay the time of the games.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, we were talking about delaying games in
No, the NBA,
baseball.
yeah.
All right, me and Kevin were talking
Okay.
about delaying games in baseball. And he was telling me that the Winter League this year is going to experiment with a couple of things. Number one, they were going to experiment with the pitchers delivering the ball faster.
Okay.
The batters have to stay in the box
Okay.
unless they foul a pitch off. If you you're getting there and it's a ball, you can't back out, readjust, you know, none of that. Just stay right there and wait for the next pitch.
Now, what if you threw at the guy and the guy jumps out of the batter's box?
Well, he's got to get back.
Okay.
You can't fall. You fall out of the batter's box, you're out.
I see.
But he says one of the other things that they're toying with, which I don't particularly like, is that they're only going to limit you to a certain number of moves during the course of a game, a certain number of pitching changes. Now, I don't like
how
that.
can they do that?
I don't like that, but that's
How
something
can
that
they
they
do
want.
that?
Because apparently what they're talking about is they feel that the time that the player, by the time the manager comes
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
the manager comes back, the manager goes out, the manager comes back, and then they
But
make
if you look
pitching
at
change.
if you look at these playoff games, I mean, they were switching pitches sometimes every batter
Right,
in a
well,
situation like that.
Right,
You
but
know?
what Kevin was saying, maybe what they should experiment, you know, whatever they're experimenting is fine, but in the playoffs you can't do that. But you can't do that. You can't have 2 different set of rules.
No.
But I came up with a couple things that I thought would be a little, you know.
Please share them.
Wait a minute, I didn't bring them with me. No. Every pitcher
Yeah.
gets 7 warm-up tosses. Okay? Do they really need 7?
They've been warming up in a bullpen, you know.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
Because the bullpen mound might be different than the pitcher mound. They're not supposed to be, but you know, as a pitcher, you got to feel comfortable,
All right.
blah, blah. So when you come in from the bullpen, I don't have a problem with you throwing 7 pitches. What I have a problem with, if you're the starting pitcher,
Yeah.
after the first inning, why do you need 7 pitches? You know, when we used to play ball with the kids,
Yeah.
you know, they were 21, 22 years old, they only used to throw 2 or 3 because they wanted to get on with it, you know? And sometimes the umpires, when it was getting dark,
Yeah.
would just say, you know, 2, and that's good. So maybe Major League pitchers should only throw 4. You know, that would
Okay.
allow them.
What's
now
your other
maybe
idea?
They may have. Well, I think that they should limit the number of pitching changes per inning to 2.
Wow.
Okay. Now you've got the guy who started.
Yeah.
You change him once. You get
Yeah.
the guy who relieves. If he doesn't do the job, you
Well, it's
change
the same
to
thing we
another
just
guy.
talked about, though. I mean, I
No,
don't.
they were
you-
talking about limiting it for the whole game.
Yeah, but I don't know. You know, you run into a situation where you're trying to stop the bleeding. You have a left-hander who's a lefty
But I want
specialist.
to eliminate that. I don't like that at all in baseball. I don't like the guy who comes in and pitches to one guy and comes out.
Well-
I just don't like it.
Well, you know,
And that's my rule.
You may not like it, but I don't see that changing though.
No, it's not going to
All
change.
right.
I didn't say it was going to change.
Okay.
I said if I were commissioner.
So let's get back to the World Series for a second here. So who are you liking? Are you liking Kansas City? Kansas City seems to be a sentimental favorite for a lot of people now. You know, considering they're a wild card team.
I'm going to give you something
disco
from,
prediction?
I'm going to not only going to give you a disco prediction, I'm going to give you a reason.
Okay.
Okay. When I was a kid, all right, I was always a Met fan. It always was my team, so I was always a Met fan. But the first non-Met hat
Yeah.
I ever bought was Kansas City Royals.
Who's got the crown?
No,
Okay.
because I liked Amos Otis.
All right. Amos
When
Otis,
he was on the Mets.
He was a Met. Yeah.
And he got traded to the Kansas City Royals. And I bought a Kansas City Royals hat. So for that reason, I'm rooting for the Kansas City Royals.
I see. Well, I'm still going with my pick, the Giants, because they're still there.
Yeah, there's no reason not to pick
Yeah.
them.
And their manager's first name is Bruce, so there we go again. You know?
There you go. But I'm going to go with the Royals. I might as well. And
All right.
of course, they're going to sweep them. They're going to
Well-
be the first ever team to sweep through the playoffs.
That would be unbelievable. That really would be.
And then we won't see them for 29 more years.
You know, it's amazing that when they won the World Series was the year I got married. 1985.
Oh, really?
1985.
You know, I was talking about, you know what Thursday was? Thursday was the 45th anniversary of the Mets winning the World Series.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew it and I forgot about it because I had posted on my Facebook page the last out of the '69 World Series.
Cleon
before
Jones waiting for that ball to come down.
before the playoffs started.
Okay.
And I said, you know what? I got to remember to do that again on the 16th for the 45.
I guess you
year.
didn't put that in your calendar to remind you.
I didn't
see.
even. I don't use the
All
calendar.
right. All right. The other good news is that the Islanders are off to a fantastic start.
Absolutely. What a
They
great.
are 4-0. It was nice to see them beat our hated rivalry, the rivals, the Rangers, and they were down 2-1, and they scored 4 goals. Or was it 5 goals? I guess in the third
5
period.
goals in the third.
To win 6-3.
4 goals in the third period.
Yep.
To win 6-3. It was just great. You know what? They are playing the third period the way teams that win and make
Yeah.
the playoffs play the third period.
It's also good to see. I don't know if you know. Actually, when I was Tuesday night, I was only a Ranger telecast. There was no Islander telecast.
Yeah, it's
I was
not-
looking around. I couldn't find it.
Were you watching HD?
No.
Okay, it was on MSG plus 2.
Okay. I couldn't find that, you know, because the Knicks were on one of the MSG
You
Plus
can only get that
channels,
channel
and then the Devils were on
Yeah,
too.
you can only get that.
I should have
on
kicked
the
my wife out of the bedroom. 'Cause
rabbit
that's
ears.
I have the HD upstairs in the bedroom.
Because I don't know, do you have FiOS or you still have cable?
I have cable.
Okay.
I have cable.
Because I know on FiOS,
Yeah.
in the HD, they have MSG, MSG2, MSG Plus, and MSG
I thought I had
Plus
all those
2,
channels, but I could
not
not.
in HD.
I could not find it. I went to the, I tried to find it. They had the next game. They had the San Jose game listed, for when I put in New York Islanders. But the guy that is now doing, part of the Islander telecast, he was on between periods, and he will be on Hockey Night Live. Mike Bossy.
Didn't he look terrible?
Well, yeah.
He looked terrible. He looked like he was having an eye problem. I said,
His headphone popped out of his ear during the first intermission.
It's Howie Rose,
Yeah.
Mike Bossy, and Butch Goring, and they're doing the interview at the end of the game. And I said to my son, those are 3 guys that are made for radio.
Yep.
They look.
But
pretty bad.
they all look good. They have a big test today against Pittsburgh,
Right.
and hopefully they'll keep up their winning ways.
Is Pittsburgh still undefeated? Do you know?
No, they lost, I think, Thursday night.
So they beat San Jose. So
Yep.
San Jose is no longer undefeated. They beat. So Pittsburgh has already lost. I wonder how many. There were only 5 of them.
I was checking the goal. They have the most goals for.
Really?
Yeah, they have 19 goals so far this year.
It's fun to be an Islander.
It
fan.
is, and the Coliseum looks like it's rocking. Higgins went, Frank Gregg went with his son Thursday night.
Yeah.
And while it wasn't a sellout like it was Saturday, I mean, that place was rocking again.
That's
man.
what Howie Rose was saying.
Yeah.
Howie Rose was saying it was the loudest they've ever heard a non-sellout game.
Yeah. My sister always gets the tickets for, when my brother comes in around Christmas time. And she went to check it out. They're only playing one game around, and it's the 29th.
Yeah.
And she said they're almost sold out for that game.
Wow.
So hopefully, Philly, you're getting tickets right now.
Yeah. Get me one. Phil.
All right.
All right.
So we're going to take another break here, I guess?
Let's take a break. We'll take
Okay.
our halftime breath. When we come back, we're going to have Rocky Cleaver, the man, the myth, the legend.
And we'll talk about he has something to say because he reached out to us. So I
Right,
can't
so,
wait to hear what he's got to say.
So this should be pretty good.
All right.
You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Enravio.com TV network. We're coming right back.
Enravio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Enravio.com wants you. Enravio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to Enravio.com/join the team. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Enravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Enravio.com. The Bully News Network, coming soon to Enravio.com. An all-new weekly show highlighting the latest news and information about the epidemic of bullying. Join Scott Hislop as he explores the issues with Dr. Michelle Golland, along with parents, teachers, and school officials, and many others affected by bullying. We'll tell stories together and work toward finding a solution to this rampant problem. The Bully News Network premieres Tuesday, September 9th at 6 p.m. only on Enravio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Enravio.com TV network. On Thursday night, the Jets fought the New England Patriots right up until the last second, actually getting into position to kick what would have been a game-winning field goal, 56-yarder. But the kick was blocked, and the Jets lost their 6th game in a row, 27-25 to the hated Patriots. Or was it 28-26? I don't remember what it was.
27-25.
Okay. On our phone is a man who proudly wore the green and white during the glory days of the dominating teams of the Sack Exchange. He's also a member of the Alaskan High School Football Hall of Fame. And he played with some of the all-time greats on the Jets. Please welcome good friend of the show, Rocky Cleaver. Rocky, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
All righty. So you actually got a chance to get up close and personal with them this week.
Yeah, that's kind of why I reached out, because I got a chance to go to the game, and I took my daughters, and I mean, it was a great game to watch. We actually stayed the entire game, and you know, when you think about it, if I told you that they'd have a chance to beat Denver in the last minute, you guys would probably think I was crazy.
I still think you're crazy.
We'd be checking your urine for sure.
Well, ooh.
No, but really, watching what Joe Flacco did to Tampa Bay was exactly what I thought Manning was going to do to the Jets. I thought he'd get his 5 touchdowns before the first half was over, and then they would have to coast the rest of the way. But you know what? It was an entertaining game, and they got not 1 but 2 shots at the end. They had the ball.
Nice weather, too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. They had a shot with like 4 or 5 minutes left.
Right.
And then they had a shot with, 55 seconds left?
Yeah.
And, that wasn't even really, a far-fetched shot either.
No.
I mean, people do that all the time.
Just not the Jets, unfortunately.
Just not usually the Jets, not with this offense. So now, obviously, you're good friends with the Jets offensive coordinator, Marty Morningweg. Morningweg, is that how we pronounce it?
Morning, yeah.
And, I'm sure you got to talk to him a little bit about it. The offense is starting to shape around a little bit. They moved the ball pretty good against Denver. They really moved the ball well against New England on Thursday.
They were just kicking field goals, though. That was
They
the
just
problem.
couldn't punch it in.
Yeah.
Well, in a way, that's kind of okay with me, because Folk is my fantasy football kicker, so...
Yeah.
Well, Bruce's kicker is Folk,
and
too.
they still were in it, and then how sweet would it have been if he kicked that 58-yard, the winner, the game winner, would have gave me, like 30 points.
That would have been unbelievable.
And let me ask you about that. Now, obviously, you know a hell of a lot more about football than either one of us. But what did you think about the fact that they went for that onside kick at the end instead of kicking the ball off? Now, the situation was the Jets had just scored a touchdown to pull within 2. Mm-hmm. Okay? They missed the 2-point conversion. And now there's about 2.5 minutes left, and they've got 1 timeout. So I would have thought since you only have 1 timeout
Phil Simms
and the
looked the same
2-minute
thing.
warning, okay,
Why not kick it deep?
You've got to kick it deep, because no matter what you do, your only way of winning this game is a 3-and-out. Mm-hmm. So if you don't recover the onside kick, you still have to get the 3-and-out. And if you start them back on the 20-yard line, you still have to get the 3-and-out. And when they kick the ball, you have much less feel.
What the Jets wind up? The Jets wind up with the ball at the 5-yard line, right?
Yeah, and they in minute and 15 seconds with just no timeouts, they got it all the way in for that 58-yard attempt.
Well, I mean, I was okay with it, because like you just said, either way, you got to do a 3-and-out.
Yeah.
So if you onside kick it, you have 2 chances of getting the ball, both one with a 3-and-out and one with the onside kick. And if you kick it deep, then you're just depending on the 3-and-out. So, I mean, that was like one of those 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, to me. I would think with Rex that he would just say kick it deep because our defense is strong.
Yeah.
He's kind of that defense guy. But that didn't bother me, because, I mean, either way, you got to do the 3-and-out.
So now, what do you think of, what did you think now that you got up in close and personal? We talked last week about Gino missing that meeting, losing his mind with the fans. What's the general feeling about him as a franchise quarterback?
Well, that's a good question. Obviously, the Jets have to make that decision. I mean, I'm always good with problem solving, because it always starts out with either A or B. Mm-hmm. So you got to decide, is he your guy or isn't he your guy? Now, missing a meeting nowadays is weird just because everybody's got a cell phone. And, your friends call you, coaches call you. Like, I don't know how you could miss an entire meeting with cell phones. Not many guys miss meetings before cell phones.
Right.
Yeah, but he was at the movies, and don't they tell you turn your cell phone off when you go to the movies?
Yeah, do you really ever do it? I mean,
Oh, I do.
But even if you did, as soon as you get into California, doesn't your cell phone change to California time?
Yeah.
yeah, your cell phone changes to every time.
Exactly, right? And
Yeah,
even if you miscalculated, wouldn't that mean you would have shown up at the meeting 3 hours early? Right? That's
Well,
what my
now
complaint
you're really
was.
Yeah.
I'm smart enough to figure that out.
That's why I think he was just asleep. He was completely asleep. I see, that to me would be the better story. I was getting my rest. I was asleep.
Well, we had guys that would go to strip joints, and that would be a way better story.
But not to the media.
You guys wouldn't jump on that?
Of course we would.
Well, we're not the regular media. We would have been at the strip joint with you. That's the
The irregular media.
So, I was checking, I guess the teams you played on, I guess the worst record, I guess 87, they were 6-9, and then I guess 83 and 84, they were 7-9. But you had 2 good years, 11-5 and 10-6, where you went to the playoffs. How does a team right itself being 1-6 right now and just not play out the string here?
It's easier for players to forget about stuff than it is fans. So, they just forget about it and play, and, especially with the money involved, they hope to keep their jobs. And, like that, for a fan, the 30-0 game
Yeah.
is easier to forget than for the player. So it's kind of opposite.
Okay.
Like, the player can come out a Thursday night and say, hey, we went toe-to-toe with a good team, we played well, and, not that be upset. The 30-0 San Diego game,
Yeah.
they feel like crap,
They played those 5 games in a row against 5 of the elite quarterbacks. And really, other than the San Diego game, they were in every one of those games. They had a big lead
They really
against
could have
Green
won.
Bay.
They could have won just about all of those games, really,
The Detroit game was close. They obviously, if they had maybe a little bit of a better offense. Even Thursday night, I saw at least 2 balls that were dropped.
Yeah.
Right out.
Amaro
in the
dropped
open.
the ball. I think Curley
Yeah.
dropped the ball there, too. They had a touchdown call back for a penalty, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that poor tight end. I think that tight end's a good player, but he seemed to drop the exact same ball. Denver
Yeah, on
to New
Sunday.
England.
Yep.
And then he made a great catch on the sideline, even though he was out of bounds. He caught that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that catch, I think it was one of those things where he just thought he was going to get popped.
Well, it's weird because on the replay, at least the New England replay, he kind of turned his hand weird at the last moment, like he was trying to catch and tuck too quick is all. He just tried to hurry it, but obviously he felt bad. And I think you can win with him. You can win with him. You can win with Ivory. And then they actually picked up Percy Harvin?
Yeah, it's
right?
unbelievable, right?
I was just writing that
So,
down. That's my next
Decker needed a guy like Percy Harvin.
Are you concerned at all? I saw something on ESPN this morning that there was some sort of a locker room confrontation with Percy Harmon, and that's why they agreed to trade him. Do we worry about a guy like that coming over here, another Santonio Holmes type guy, or is he not that type of a guy? I don't know how much you know about him.
Well, I don't know really anything about him other than he's fast, and
Yeah.
he's scary. Like, he will scare a defense even if he doesn't catch a ball. So that'll make it better for Decker. And what's the tight end's name? Amaro?
Jason Morrow,
Jason
yeah.
Morrow.
Yeah. And, when in the Denver game, they had a couple running backs drop that little bubble screen thing.
Yes. Yes.
In practice, you got to run that 30 or 40 times, and they probably caught it, 99% of the time
Yeah,
in practice. Or you wouldn't run it. And just like that 2-point conversion play,
Oh.
it looked like, again, that was the tight end and on a little fade thing, and it either looked like it got kind of thrown a little off or he
Right.
ran it a little off. But when you're the coach and things work in practice and you think this is going to be great, and it works like that, you kind of think, oh, my God, what happened here,
Yeah, well, let's talk about practice for a second. Obviously, football players practice more than they actually play games. You guys practice, 4 times a week? Usually, start on Wednesday right? Or
Yeah, I mean, we kind of used to have to practice more, but yeah.
but you practice
Really,
so.
just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is kind of your days of practice, you know.
One of the Jets said 2 weeks ago they were talking about how they don't practice like a championship team. I forget what the. Do you have the guy's name there?
Yeah, I'm going to find it.
And he was saying that they don't practice. It was the guy that came over, I think, from Seattle. He said they don't practice. And then there was they don't practice like a championship team. And then there was what Michael Vick said about how he wasn't prepared. How could Michael Vick not be prepared?
Yeah.
You're the backup quarterback.
Well,
You have
not
to be
only is he the
prepared.
backup quarterback, but he had, 2 years in jail not to prepare. Don't you think he get out and say, I'm going to prepare?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I'm not saying that the backup to Peyton Manning doesn't prepare. But if there's anybody that, that knows that he is not getting into the game under any circumstances unless Peyton Manning gets hurt, it's that guy, right?
Well, do you think Joe Biden practiced to be president of the United States? I don't know. You know.
those guys don't prepare either. They should start watching film with Peyton Manning.
It was
You know,
DeMarco
Hey,
Murray,
wait a
by the way.
second.
Davis was the guy.
Davis.
Yeah.
DeMarco Davis.
Yeah.
But Michael Vick, that leading up to that whole week, all they were talking about was Geno Smith being benched
Yeah.
and playing Michael Vick. And that's the week that he wasn't prepared?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I can't imagine.
So Rocky, what do you think? You think Rex Ryan is going to survive? I mean, he already has kind of said that if they don't make the playoffs, he knows he's gone. Do you think that's really what's going to happen with him, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how he can survive. I mean, if he makes the playoffs now, I mean, I don't know. Isn't this the end of his contract anyway?
It is.
Yeah, this is last
It
year.
is.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. I like Rex. Yeah, I've only met him a few times, and I think the players like him, and I would think that he runs a professional practice, at least on his end. Now, if some of the players don't take it like a professional, then you have problems because you can't make guys practice
Yeah.
any better other than if you cut them,
But isn't that the coach's job?
Yeah, but
I mean, you
again,
played
some
for,
guys
right?
don't do it,
You played for Walt Michaels. Walt Michaels wouldn't have stood
Well,
for
Joe
anything like
Walton,
that.
I guess you
And
played
Joe
for,
Walton
right?
too, right?
Michaels was gone in '82. You got drafted in '82, right?
Well, I mean, I played 1 year with Walt, and
Yeah.
all the players respected Walt, and, he ran a tight practice, but Joe Walton was his offensive coordinator then. And then, the practices were a little bit different. We probably hit more. We'd hit a little bit 1 day a week, so we did have to practice, Now I don't even know what they do.
Yeah.
It's kind
Well,
of
they're not
like
allowed to
football
have.
now.
They're not allowed to have as many
It's a
practices,
different world.
and they write that into the players' contracts, not the contracts, the overall player contract,
The
Right,
collective
the
bargaining.
collective bargaining agreement, right? Right.
Right, which, it's kind of crazy, but
Hey, going to switch gears here for a minute. I just was looking at the Post, and do you know that tomorrow is National New York Pickle Day?
It is not.
It is. It is. So I was wondering if you're going to make a trip to New York for National Pickle Day there.
well, I'll have to now. I wish I'd known that.
Why is it? How do we always come back to pickle?
I don't know. I was sleeping through it. I said, "Oh God, I can't believe this, man. I got to lay this on Rocky though."
You act like we bring it up. You're the only guy. But wait, getting back to Peyton Manning's backup, I know that kid because he lives in Montana.
Oh,
and
really?
I go to
Okay.
this thing. I go to this charity thing every year out there.
Mm-hmm.
He studies with Peyton Manning, like when Ken O'Brien was the starting quarterback.
Right.
He and Pat Ryan studied together. Other than what they did with the coaches.
Right.
When Kenny went to Philly, he tells a good story about a kid came up to him and said, how did you play 10 years in the league? How were you always prepared? How will you always do well? And Kenny goes, first of all, I don't sleep in meetings. And second of all, I wake up early, I work out, and then I watch film. And the kid goes, oh, wow. He goes, do you want to watch film with me and maybe not fall asleep in a meeting? You got a chance.
Wow.
And the kid never showed up to watch film with him and got cut.
Well, you know what? That's you were a professional athlete. You know what it takes to get there. There are some guys that I don't understand how they don't take it seriously. But we're looking at it at a fan's point of view. We can't understand how people that get paid money to play a game can't take it seriously. sometimes.
Right, exactly. And I
question.
don't know either. Then, now they get paid almost too much money to where if you think you have a couple million in the bank, you can always just rest on your laurels. And, now if you get cut, it's almost a good deal. Back then, if you got cut, it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you lost everything when you got cut.
You got
right?
fired is what it was,
Yeah.
Right? Because, they're talking about, although the NFL contracts are not guaranteed like they are in baseball, they're now putting guaranteed money in the contracts.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's guaranteed to me. If somebody signs a $50 million deal and 10's guaranteed, I mean, I'm not, a math major, but that's $10 million guaranteed. I wouldn't mind $10 million guaranteed right now.
No, that would be great. I could use 10
I'd probably
million.
get in trouble with the IRS because I wouldn't want to give them a part of it. Happy.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I mean, I can only speak for myself. Since I was Mickey Schuler's backup, he and I would watch film together as far as what the linebackers and defenses do. Then special teams, he and I would watch kickoff return because we were both on kickoff return. So that we did that 2 or 3 times a week by ourselves without the coaches. Then I had another group of guys, like Matt Munger, Kyle Clifton, Bob Crable. We would watch kickoff return and kickoff together to see what they're doing and how they block and who we're blocking. So, between what we did, there'd be 10 or 15 guys in a group that we would watch film together, and it might only take 30 minutes of, watching quality film from the 4 games before, because that's all we basically got.
Right.
And, we were kind of prepared. We had good special teams. We had good returns. And usually we did okay as far as, the tight end situation. Plus, Mickey was so good, it was easy to be his backup.
And the one of the words you used was prepared. And football is a game of being prepared. I mean, again, almost every other sport is a flowing, as it's going thing. Football is a stop, set the play, and and then the play begins. So preparation and precision are very important in football. And
I would say so. Plus, Mickey and I would always talk on the sidelines, and whether it was Billy Griggs was the third guy or Glenn Dennison was the third guy, we'd always kind of talk about what they're doing because Mickey and I played together on the field a lot, whether he went in motion or I went in motion. So we'd, like say against the Giants, Carl Banks was the strong side tight end. So we'd talk just to figure out what they considered strengths. So Lawrence Taylor would be considered the weak side tight end, and he liked to play against Mickey. I don't know why. They talked trash together, and Mickey, it was kind of a weird deal, those two. So we would know if we set it up with 2 split tight ends, Banks would be on me, and then Mickey, if he went in motion, always had LT against him. So the coaches would figure that out too and figure out how to make it to our advantage to either run straight at LT or to try to get Banks to have to move or cover, or play kind of out of what his strength was. So, yeah, you got to be prepared. And then, every set of plays you come off and then you kind of get re-prepared. That's why good teams can, like the 49ers, can get down 14 points and come back.
They make adjustments, yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
really the Jets must have done something because they were down at Denver and then they came back.
Right.
I thought they made a nice little comeback.
you know what? I mean, as much as we made fun of them the last couple of weeks, especially after the San Diego thing, they really did play well the last 2 games. I'm really sorry. I mean, obviously I'm a Jet fan, but I'm really sorry that they lost that New England game because you know what? Coming back from being 2-5, is a hell of a lot easier than 1-6. Now you're talking about even if you run the table, you're finishing 8-6. That may not get you in
agree with
playoffs.
you.
10-6.
I was the same way. I thought that
10-6.
New England game, it was a shame. You know.
Yep.
All righty, we're running out of time here.
So, Rocky, great talking to you. Hopefully you'll get to New York City for the Pickle Day tomorrow. And we appreciate your call. And you were supposed to go to a Division 10 college game, but you didn't make it today there. And
No,
we appreciate your insight into the Jets here.
I'm going to Dog Beach with my daughter and our dog, so
All
that's
right.
kind of more fun.
Sounds
All right,
good.
cool.
All
Enjoy.
right.
Thanks, Rocky.
All right, guys. See ya.
We'll talk to you. Thanks a lot. That's our good pal of the show, Rocky Cleaver. We're going to take a quick break, wrap things up for you when we come back.
Sounds good.
Be right back.
All right.
InRavio.com. The Bully News Network, coming soon to InRavio.com, an all-new weekly show highlighting the latest news and information about the epidemic of bullying. Join Scott Hislop as he explores the issues with Dr. Michelle Golland, along with parents, teachers, and school officials, and many others affected by bullying. We'll tell stories together and work toward finding a solution to this rampant problem. The Bully News Network premieres Tuesday, September 9th at 6 p.m. only on InRavio.com. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to InRavio.com/join the team.
Alrighty, you stuck around for the commercials and we got nothing left for you. Alrighty, thanks to our producer today, the lovely and talented Bonnie Schultz, and thanks to our good pal Rocky Cleaver. Rocky always brings it here on the Glory Days show. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week, and thank you to you, our loyal listeners, or are they viewers?
They're both.
They're both. For watching the show. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days on-demand page. And you can see any of our previous shows on the on-demand page, along with all the other great programming here at the InRavio.com TV network.
Enjoy your weekend, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you next Saturday.
All right.
InRavio.com.